planning hands-on activities for your lessons are a great way to promote enthusiasm and encourage students to be actively engaged in their lesson.
The more you get involved, the more the students will want to participate. Being an active participant in your students' learning really helps get them excited about their learning experience.
Demonstrations are a large part of sparking enthusiasm. This proves to the students that they can also accomplish whatever task you are asking them to achieve. If you play your instrument or sing for them, you can show them what they can achieve in their studies.
Providing extra help for students will show that you care about their success. If you as a teacher put a little extra effort into your students' studies and personal goals, they will respect you more and be willing to achieve these standards for you and eventually for themselves.
Performance opportunities will be a fun activity for the students to show what they have learned. Students are eager to show their friends and family what they have accomplished. This is a large part of the arts, including music. The students are given a goal, and when they achieve it and do well, they are encouraged to do more for their next performance.
No enthusiasm on behalf of the teacher will discourage the students to learn. If you do not engage yourself as a teacher, then the students will not attempt to apply themselves. If the students apply themselves on an assignment and the teacher does not give due feedback, then the student will stop caring. Low morale starts with the teacher.
Not being involved in your classroom could lead to a state of chaos. If you are not actively engaged with your surroundings in your classroom, then the students will take advantage of this and will run the classroom.
If you cannot bring your own enthusiasm for the subject that you're teaching, then you can't really expect students to have that same enthusiasm. So really expressing to students how excited you are about the lesson that they're about to learn, trying to activate the kind of the fun knowledge that they already have about a subject. The front part of the dog, Carlton has called his anterior. And then a very useful word, the back part of the dog. You should use this when you have kids one day. You're like, boy, I'm going to mess up your posterior. All right, the back of the dog is his posterior. Has anyone's mom or dad ever used that? Being like, I'm going to beat you in your posterior? Okay, all right, good. And so bringing in something familiar that's going to make them realize, hey, this knowledge is something that I'm going to have a good time learning. I think it helps them be more enthusiastic about it. So I think discovering what makes you so enthusiastic about your content area, and in my case, what makes me so enthusiastic is those connections. There's just so many connections of science to your everyday life. Finding that and really trying to bring that enthusiasm into your classroom will undoubtedly bring joy to your students. Muscular system. Come on, gentlemen. You got to know this. You got to know this because you got to work it out. Diaz.
Hey, biceps.
Point to your bicep. Diaz. Kiss it. Okay, good. All right, so your biceps are your muscles.
Negative behavior towards students may lead to poor relationships for everyone. Students will pick up on your behavior and will start to mirror your actions. This is very important to remember when you are personally not having a good day or something else is taking your mind off of your students. This will lead to lack of self-respect all the way around.
Enthusiasm among students will also begin to decrease with negative behavior. If you do not apply yourself to your students, they will know that you don't care, so they will start slacking off. You are the prime example.
Bullying is the most common result of negative actions within the classroom. You should make it known to your students that no bullying is allowed. Really draw a large margin between what is acceptable to joke about and what is not. Teaching students the golden rule and sticking to it will make this a lot easier for everyone.
Allowing students to act out in class will destroy all positive relationships and could lead to violence. It is important to treat your students with the same level of respect that you wish to be treated. Treating your students in a negative manner will tell the students that it is okay to treat other students or teachers poorly. Allowing students to act in a negative manner may cause problems outside the classroom, such as bullying.
Hello, I'm Patricia Polacco, and this is my newest book, Bullying. What inspired me to write this was in visiting schools all over our country. I am observing bullying getting completely out of hand, not only at schools, but in children's homes who have electronic devices that make it possible to bully others. They have what they call hate blogs, where they get the entire school to weigh in on some poor victim. Children don't have the ego strength to stand up to a bully, trust me. How a teacher can use this in the classroom to discourage bullying is read it and then encourage a discussion among your students. The last page of this book, as a matter of fact, all it asks is, what would you do? Give your students a chance to come up with a solution.
Enthusiastic teaching can encourage your students to work together. If you really put yourself out there in front of your students, you can instill a sense of enthusiasm. Your personality will show through the way your students act.
Allowing students to help one another will encourage them to be actively engaged in the classroom. Presenting opportunities like sectionals for students to take charge of their learning really helps in making it a group effort.
Positive relationships between the students and the teachers will create a positive learning environment. When teachers build a positive relationship with their students by working together toward a common goal or learning the material, the students feel that the teacher is on their level and putting in as much effort as they are.
Positivity within the classroom will encourage positive relationships outside the classroom. By providing an example for your kids to follow, they will have a much more positive relationship with family and friends.
Hello, my name is Kevin Kreutz, and I am principal at Central Lutheran School in New Haven, Indiana. One of the best ways to become an effective educator is by building relationships with your students. Each one of your students should feel safe and secure in their classroom. They should feel loved and cared for. They should feel welcomed as soon as they walk into the building. Building relationships with your students entails getting to know their strengths and their weaknesses and their interests. It also means knowing how they learn and what motivates them. One of the best ways to build relationships with your students is simply by being a presence. Start each day by standing at the door and greeting each student by name with a handshake and a smile. This will set a positive tone for the students as soon as they get to your room. And who knows, that may be the first time a student is called by name or smiled at that day. Greeting them at the door is just a start. Be a presence the rest of the day. Avoid the temptation to teach from the desk, sit behind a computer, or grade papers while they're working. Teach from the front, the back, the center of the classroom. Walk among the students while they are working. Be available to answer questions. Ask questions of the students yourself. Sit down and work with a small group during a project. Your presence among the students will help engage them in their learning, reduce discipline issues, and help you build stronger relationships with the class.